Have you noticed that everywhere you look, someone is teaching you how to become that girl? Wake up by 4 a.m., drink lemon water, journal, go to Pilates, go to the gym, stay soft, stay mysterious, and some way, somehow, after doing all of that, you're supposed to feel happier. But what if in the process of becoming that girl, you slowly stop becoming yourself? In this video, I'm going to be diving into the whole that girl wave, and I'll also be sharing what I think about it. So let's get into it. So the idea of being that girl isn't a bad thing, because the whole idea is for women to take care of themselves, build healthy habits, and become more intentional about themselves. But some way, somehow, a lot of people are losing the plot. In fact, they've lost the plot. There's no plot because it has stopped being about being intentional or feeling good. It has now become about looking like you have your whole life together. Instead of people to ask questions like, what makes me happy? Would this make me happy? What they are basically asking themselves is, would this look good online? Would this look good on the gram? And that is a very big difference and a very big problem, because now they are no longer focusing on themselves. The intentionality is no longer there. They're no longer thinking of themselves, which the whole idea of being that girl is to put yourself first, take care of yourself, do things that would improve yourself. So if you now ask questions like, would this look good online? Would this look good for the gram? Or is this aesthetically pleasing? Instead of thinking of yourself, if what you want to do is going to make you happy, makes you comfortable, what gives you peace, you are all about how to impress people, what people can admire, and that is a very big problem. Now, what you have to understand is that a beautiful routine is not valuable because people can admire it. It is valuable when it genuinely improves your life. So if you're doing anything and one way or the other is not improving your life in any way, is not impactful, nothing, then you know it's time to wrap it up. So the whole idea of being that girl is for you to be intentional about yourself, take care of yourself, and also build habits or pick up habits or routine that will improve your life. And also, you don't have to earn your worth or your value through productivity. One thing I have noticed is that a lot of people feel guilty when they're not being productive. For example, if they are resting, they feel lazy. If they are watching a movie, they feel like they should be doing something productive with that time, not actually watching a movie. I'm guilty of that to some extent. But one thing you have to understand is that your value isn't determined by how much you can accomplish in a day. It is not determined by that. If you need to rest, rest. Rest is part of growth too. Because one thing is certain, if you are very productive every single time, right, you would break down. And once you break down, you will not be able to do much any longer. You might not even be able to do anything at all. So the moment you are being productive for some time and you want to take a break, you need to take that break because your body needs that rest. So you don't have to feel like, oh, when you're resting, when you're watching a movie, when you're doing something creative or going out for creation, it doesn't mean that you're being lazy or you're not being productive. You're doing something very, very helpful to you as at that point. So you don't have to be productive every minute of the day, every hour of the day for you to deserve happiness. So even as you're being productive one way or the other, try to rest. That is now you being intentional about yourself. For you to be that girl, right, you have to live your life in your own way, in a realistic and most authentic way. You don't have to copy someone else's life, someone else's lifestyle. That is not the whole concept or the whole idea of being that girl. Probably you're scrolling on social media and you see someone's routine and immediately you convinced yourself in your head that, oh, this is how my life should be. This is what I want. Honestly, you have to pause and ask yourself, if you actually enjoy these things. Probably you're scrolling online, you're seeing someone who is waking up by 4 a.m., someone who is drinking matcha or what is it called, someone who is doing pilates and things like that, and in your head, oh, this looks good, I should be doing this is very nice because it's aesthetically pleasing. Ask yourself if you actually enjoy these things. Probably you're someone who doesn't like waking up by 4 a.m., you don't like matcha, you don't like pilates. That's okay. That's okay. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with trying new things. There's nothing wrong. It's actually okay and perfect to try new things, okay? Now, let me use matcha as an example because that's what's trending. Everybody are trying it out. If you go out to buy matcha and you try it for the first time and you don't like it, is there any reason why you should keep buying it when you know you genuinely don't like it? So the moment you try matcha and you don't like it and you keep buying it, recording yourself taking it, then it means you're not being realistic with yourself, you're not being authentic with yourself, you're not being true to yourself because deep down within you, you know you don't like this thing, but you keep buying it because you see people buying it. People are saying, oh, it looks good, it tastes good, they like it, and then you, because you want to feel among, you keep buying it. That is you not being true to yourself. So the whole idea of being that girl is you staying true to who you are, not copying someone else's lifestyle. So if waking up by 4 a.m. is not for you, you don't like matcha, you don't like pilates, that's okay. You don't have to force yourself to keep doing things you don't like. The whole goal is not to copy someone else's lifestyle or what they do or their routine. The whole goal is for you to build your own life in a way that suits you, in a way that feels realistic and authentic to you. And now, confidence doesn't come from aesthetics. A lot of people think confidence comes when they have perfect hair, perfect body, when they wear the best clothes. You can have all the best things and still not be confident. That's the truth. Confidence is not dependent on perfection. If confidence is dependent on perfection, oh my God, a lot of people would not be confident. That is the truth. Confidence comes from being true to yourself, trusting yourself, keeping promises you've made to yourself, be comfortable with who you are, even on days when you don't feel or look your best. That is what real confidence is all about. Now, becoming that girl or being your best self should not feel exhausting. Instead, it should feel freeing. The moment it becomes exhausting, the moment you start to feel anxious or you start to feel like you're not doing enough, honestly, you have to rethink what growth means to you because that is not what growth should feel like. Growth should basically feel like you're becoming more at peace with yourself. That is how it should be for you. So if you want to be that girl, live your life in your own way. And also don't force yourself or pressure yourself to the extent whereby it becomes exhausting. Growth should not feel like you are constantly trying to prove your worth. Instead, you should be more at peace with yourself. You should be more comfortable with yourself. That is what growth is all about. That is what it means to be your best self. You also need to create your own definition of that girl and embody it. You see, a lot of things that we see online are routines that some people they genuinely follow. That is what they do, that's how they live their life. But because they've embodied it, they've now placed it in a way whereby when we see it, when we watch these things, we admire it, right? And in your head, you're like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. That is how it should be for you. Create your own definition of that girl and embody it with so much confidence. If your own definition of that girl is not waking up by 4 a.m., you're probably waking up by 6 a.m., do that. Because personally for me, I don't wake up by 4 a.m. The only reason I would wake up by 4 a.m. is probably when I have somewhere to be. I would wake up by 4 a.m. Anything aside from that, I'm not waking up by 4 a.m. until it is 6 because my alarm, I did set it to wake me up by 6. So if your own definition of that girl is to wake up by 6 or 7 or 8, depending on your lifestyle, then do it. Live that way. So the whole thing is for you to be intentional about yourself and to be original, not for you to be copying someone else's lifestyle. So if your own definition of that girl is for you to stay at home on weekends, not always going out, hanging out, then stay at home and do your thing. So the whole concept is for you to enjoy your life, build your own life in a way that suits you, in a way that feels realistic and authentic, not living your life as someone else. And this is something a lot of people are teaching in a wrong way, because I've watched a couple of videos regarding this. They'll tell you do this, do this, do this, forgetting that we are not the same. We don't do the same things. We are all different basically. The way we live our lives are different. So if you are following someone else's lifestyle, you're doing every single thing that they do, then you're not being true to who you are. Now, for example, going to the gym is not bad. You have to exercise, it's very important, right? But if you now start going to the gym, are you going to the gym because you genuinely want to work on yourself? You genuinely want to stay fit, or are you going there because you want to create content, you want to create content at the gym, you want to post something pleasing for people to admire? If that is your aim of going to the gym, then you are not in any way improving your life, because your whole idea or what you'll be thinking every single time you enter the gym is how to create content, where is the best angle, if that makes sense. But if your whole mentality, your whole thought is, oh, I need to stay fit, I need to do this, I need to do this to improve my body, when you go to the gym, you'd care less about creating content centered around what you're doing. I don't know if that is making any sense. So being that girl is not you copying what people are doing, but you building your own life, you enjoying what you're doing, enjoying your routine. That is what that girl is all about. And also, being that girl is not about you wearing the best clothes or taking pictures. That is not what being that girl is all about. That is not what it's all about. So I want you to have a change of mindset towards what a lot of people think about being that girl is. The goal of being that girl is for you to be comfortable with the way you're living, or build your life in a way that suits you. Pick up healthy habits that will genuinely improve your life. So whatever you're doing, whatever routine you are doing or you're setting, think of it in this way. Is this going to help me become better? Is it going to improve my life in any way? If it's not going to improve your life in any way, you have to change it. You need to stop doing it. That is what it's all about. So the whole concept or the whole idea of being that girl is not about becoming somebody else, but it's about becoming more of who you already are. So anything that is going to improve your life, pick it up. Anything that would not improve your life, whatever it is to impress people, seek validation, leave those ones behind, because they are not necessary. So anything that is going to make you feel more at peace with yourself, feel more comfortable, feel more confident, that is what you should pick up. That is what you should do. So let me know what you think about this conversation. Let me know your opinion. Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. And if you got this far and you haven't subscribed to this channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn notification bell so you can be notified anytime I get to publish a new video. On this note, see my next video. Bye.